This podcast is co-created and co-produced by the Food Allergy Institute and the 12 Company. Listeners should know that the podcast host, Lesley-Anne Stone, is not a physician nor a licensed medical professional, and the purpose of this podcast is strictly limited to storytelling. Any content shared within the podcast is not intended to be medical advice and should not be used for diagnosis or treatment purposes. All listeners are urged to consult their healthcare providers. The creators, hosts, and guests of this podcast are not liable for any decisions or actions taken by any persons who claim to rely upon the content of this podcast. Hi, I'm Lesley-Anne Stone, and this is Resilience and Hope, a food allergy podcast. We have a really awesome episode for you today. The episode is all about deep remission. And what I mean by deep remission are patients who have graduated from the Tolerance Induction Program at the Food Allergy Institute 5 years ago or more. And I specifically have guests today, mother and son duos, who will share their experience through the program and more specifically, what life is like now in remission years and years after graduating. These are people who were 5, 6, and 7 years out of the program, living a life completely in food freedom. My first guest is Brianna Crawford. Her son, Benji, is a deep remission patient in the Tolerance Induction Program, and she's here to tell us all about her life in remission with her son. Welcome to the show, Brianna. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So your son, Benji, was allergic to several foods. So why don't we start by talking about what were his allergens?
Sure. So he was allergic to eggs, peanuts, cashews, and pistachios. And we actually found out about his allergies right around his first birthday. You know how everybody does the smash cake for their kid's first birthday. We had this beautiful smash cake from a bakery, and he put his hand right in the frosting and full body hives he got. And so at that point, we had done the testing, and that's when we discovered he had all of these other allergies. So, and it was new to us. We didn't know anybody in our family with food allergies. And so we've learned a lot over the last 10 years,
So you discovered the Food Allergy Institute and enrolled him in the Tolerance Induction Program. What was that process like in the program?
So we live in Orange County, so about an hour from the Institute. And, Benji was in, one of those baby music classes. And I just remember talking to another mom, and she said that her daughter was going through the treatment program. And I was really intrigued by it. And I learned more about it. And we had explored OIT with our allergist down there. And we decided that TIP was the right choice for us. Number one, Benji's allergies, most severe allergy was egg. And so they weren't really treating that yet. It was really focused on peanut OIT at the time. And number two, we didn't really know what maintenance looked like long term. It was like, is this going to be we're dosing every single day for the rest of our lives with OIT? And so, we knew a lot of people that had done the program at TIP, and we felt really comfortable with it, did our research, met with the team, and that's how we decided to go with TIP. And at the time, there was about a 1-year wait list. There was a lot of kids on that wait list. So we waited about a year, started TIP when Benji was about 3, and then we're in the program about 2.5, 3 years in total.
So he graduated before he started kindergarten.
That summer before kindergarten, which was a godsend because, with preschool, we obviously had to talk about allergens with the teachers, and they're much more accommodating in preschool, right? When there's a class of 12 and, no peanut desserts and things like that. But when you get into a school of 1,000 kids, that's a lot harder to maintain. So he's never had a 504 plan.
Great.
He's never been known as the allergy kid. I've never had to talk with his teachers about he can't have this class treat or I need to bring this safe cupcake for class. And so I think you'll find when you talk with him, he doesn't feel like an allergy kid. And so that's been a blessing for us to be able to finish before kindergarten. Yeah.
Huge blessing. But we hear from so many people out there. We receive messages, emails, DMs about the grind of the program, if you will. Because there could be some really dark days in the program, getting your child to eat everything that they have to eat. Talk to me about what you did to get Benji at such a young age to eat everything he had to eat in the day.
Yeah. Well, I won't sugarcoat it. It's hard. But, I think when we looked at what's involved with the program and preparing all of the treatment doses and making sure your child can do that 1 hour rest period, which is hard for a 4-year-old boy to say, please don't run around the house for an hour, When you think about all that's involved with the program, but then you compare it to what is life like with allergies, I think you kind of have to choose your hard. For me, it was hard to create a cupcake every time there was a party, and for him to see his face of like he has something different than the other kids. And traveling, my in-laws live in New Zealand. That was a nightmare, trying to travel to New
Ugh.
Zealand and figuring out safe restaurants and making sure we got an Airbnb versus a hotel so that we could cook all our own meals on vacation. It was difficult. So I think when you compare what's in the program versus what life with allergies is like, you say, okay, this is temporary. We were in the program for 3 years. It was hard. We would go to the market and find little tiny quail eggs and do 0.1 milliliter quail egg omelets. But you adjust, and you realize it's temporary. And at the end of the day, now our maintenance is he eats peanuts once every 3 weeks. He eats 2 boiled eggs a week. He eats tree nuts once every 3 weeks. We went to Australia as a family last year, and we just went to the supermarket, got his peanuts. He ate it once while we were there, and that was it.
Amazing.
And so it was hard in the program for a long time when you're trying to get a 4-year-old to eat your maintenance and the treatment doses. But the Institute was really helpful in coming up with recipes that he was agreeable with, I would say, and understanding that it's not just a medical component to it, but an emotional component as well. And so I found everybody at the Institute was really understanding of that and helpful throughout the treatment program.
And he's eating his allergens on a regular basis too, beyond just maintenance, is my understanding as well. Like it is just part of his overall diet, if you will.
Yeah. And I never thought I would say that. Like for us, egg, and I've heard this from a lot of the NPs, that egg is one of the hardest ones for kids because it's the flavor and the texture of it is like very strong for a kid that's avoided it their whole life, right? And so just getting him, he would never have eaten scrambled eggs. He never would have eaten a boiled egg before. But kids' tastes change, right? And now he chooses eggs over easy. And he chooses when he has ramen to have the egg in it. And
awesome.
He'll have an egg sandwich, deviled eggs, right? And so kids' tastes change. And I think that's important too for parents and for kids to realize is like, well, I don't, he would say that in the program, I don't even want to do this because I don't even like eggs. Who cares if I can't eat it? Well, a couple of years later, and he loves all these things with egg in it. And you can't avoid foods like that for your entire life.
So talk to me about life in remission. So your message to people out there who are struggling in the program.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? What do you say to those people who think about quitting, or those people who don't think they can do it? They don't want to enroll because it sounds too hard. What do you say to those people? What is your life like now?
Yeah, I mean, remission changed everything about our everyday life. Food allergies used to control our lives, and they don't anymore, right? I mean, every decision we made, every restaurant we went to, every party we went to, every school event, it centered around, is it safe? What do we need to do? We don't even think about that. We can be spontaneous as a family. We can go to parties and let him run wild with his friends and not worry about it. I mean, it's really given us not just safety, but also the confidence that he can be a kid. He doesn't have to worry, and we don't have to worry. And I think allergy parents know better than anybody about vigilance and the difficulties that come with allergies. And it's just a different type of hard. And again, I would say it's temporary. It feels really tough when you're in it, but once you're on the side, it feels like a different life, honestly, from when, where we were when he was 3-4 years old to now. It's even hard to remember what life was like with those allergies because it's just feels like a different life.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
My second guest today is my friend, Benji Crawford. Benji has been in remission for 6 years now, but I will let him tell you all about his experience in life in remission. Welcome to the show, Benji.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here today. Let's start. Tell me about you. How old are you?
I'm 11.
You're 11, so that puts you in 5th grade.
Yep.
Your mom told us that you entered kindergarten in remission.
Yeah.
So do your friends know that you have food allergies?
No, I actually met most of my main friends in around like 3rd grade. So they don't know me as an allergy kid, no.
And you had a huge egg allergy.
Yeah.
And you're eating eggs all the time now.
Yeah.
Do you remember the program at all? Because you were very young when you were in the program.
I can kind of remember it.
What do you remember about it?
I remember having to eat those tiny quail eggs
Yeah.
that my mom got from a market.
Did you like
Yeah.
them?
They actually weren't that bad.
Okay.
Kind of liked them.
Okay. Well, that's cool. That's cool. And you also had nut allergies as well. Okay. And do you like nuts now? How do you feel about nuts now?
I like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like them? Okay. Cool. And I understand that you're a drummer.
Yeah.
And you're a gamer.
Yeah.
You like Minecraft?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. It's very aligned with an 11-year-old boy. Very, very aligned. So, okay, you're in remission now. You can eat whatever you want, whenever you want. And I understand that you and your grandmother make deviled eggs,
Yeah.
which you call protein.
Yeah.
Tell me about protein, because we have some protein here today. You brought them today.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to try them. But tell me, why do you call them protein?
So a couple years ago, I had to eat 2 eggs at the Food Allergy Institute as like a challenge. And after I ate them, I called it protein. I just randomly called it that.
Because it's protein and
Yeah.
you're a bro. Protein. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in remission, and there are kids out there, Benji, who are struggling in the program because it's hard. You may not remember you remember the quail eggs. I understand that you ate a 1 foot by 1 foot pancake at one point. Your mom baked everything in to a giant pancake. Do you remember the giant pancake? All these things to get you to eat everything you eat. And that's hard for kids. So what do you say to kids out there who don't want to eat their treatment food, their maintenance food, their recommended food? What do you say to kids out there? You look back, you're 6 years in remission. None of your friends know you're a food allergy kid. You're eating the protein. You're eating ramen with egg. You're eating the Starbucks sandwiches now. What do you say to kids who are having a hard time in the program? What's your message for them?
I'd say it's hard at one point, but when you're done from it, it's definitely worth it. So you should follow through.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
Food freedom. Yeah, it's totally worth it. And when we first talked, you very much wanted to come on the program, on our show, which I'm so glad that you did. Why did you want to come on today?
I wanted to come on so I could spread the news about the Food Allergy Institute so more children could, come into the program and get their allergies treated.
Because it's worth it on the other
worth
side.
it.
It's worth it. Food freedom. So I say we should eat some protein.
Yeah.
Some of these deviled eggs. Your grandma's
Yeah.
deviled eggs. You made them this morning?
Yeah, I made them this morning.
They're fresh. Look at this. And
They're
it's in a
good.
carrying case. All right, let's eat
Yeah.
one. You want to take one?
Take one.
And I'm going to take one. Oh, give me some protein. All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, here we go. Oh, you pop it in. Okay. Oh, they're good. Tell me how you made these. What's in it? You're still chewing? God, you eat the whole thing in 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Look at you. What's in that?
First of all, we get a bunch of eggs. We crack We crack the shells. Then we cut them open after they're hard boiled and stuff. And then we take the yolks out. We put them in a bowl. Then we make a little mixture in another bowl.
Mhm.
And we put like some mayonnaise, salt, pepper, mustard. Then we mix it in with the little mixture of our egg yolks.
Mm-hmm.
We mix that around for a while. And then we grab little spoonfuls of those. And we plop it in the little egg whites. Put a little paprika on top. And that's how they're made.
It's so good. Protein. All right. I like it. Protein. I'm going to show this to the camera. Look how cute this case is. This little carrying case. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You are very brave for an 11-year-old to come on and to tell your story like this. And you're going to help a lot of kids out there. So thank you. Rock on. Do fist pump. Thank you. Our next guest is Sherry Sclafani. Sherry is a mother of Devin, who is also in remission. Devin has been in remission for 5 years, but I'll let Sherry share the story. Welcome to the show, Sherry.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Oh, I'm so happy you're here. And I just have to say, we met in 2018 at a conference at Long Beach Children's Hospital for the Food Allergy Institute.
Absolutely.
And you were with your mom.
Yes.
And I never forgot you. We became Facebook friends.
Yes.
And you were considering the program, looking for more information at the time at the program?
Correct. We were on the waiting list.
Okay.
And then I decided to go to the presentation just to learn more about it.
To learn more, and we met. I just remember it so clearly, where you were sitting and everything so clearly. So it's so full circle that you and Devin are now here.
It's amazing, isn't it? Isn't it?
It's amazing.
It's great to be in this position at this point, just
Amazing.
considering
Amazing.
where we were. Yes.
because I remember hearing your story, how he was so allergic to peanut and other tree nuts.
Yes.
And you were so desperate
Yes. That's
to rid yourself of this.
the perfect word, desperate.
Desperate. And look at you now, in remission for 5 years.
Unbelievable.
So tell me about the beginning, because Devin also had, besides peanut and tree nut, he also had environmental allergies.
Yes, he
and some
did.
pretty unique ones as well. So you had a horse
Yes.
before Devin was born. So tell us the horse story.
Yes. So I had a horse for 22 years, and my horse unfortunately passed away a year before Devin was born. So once we had Devin, we found out he had his severe peanut allergy when he was 17 months old. So once we took him in for testing, we did the food testing, and then I also found out that he was severely allergic to horses. So I always said that was my horse's way of saying, you're not replacing me.
Oh.
And Devin is such a huge animal lover, so it was really hard for him
Yeah.
because he loved to be around the horses, and he was also allergic to cats. But
you did slit, S-L-I-T, slit.
we did slit, and I remember asking Dr. Randhawa, can we add horses in there to try to desensitize him from the horse allergy? And so he said, sure. And so we did, and
Amazing.
now we spend a lot of time being around the horses, petting the horses, and it's good to be able to be back in that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So tell me about the program, about what was life like in the program, because I specifically wanted to do this episode about deep remission
Yes.
for people out there who are having a hard time in the day-to-day grind of the program.
Right.
So what was it like day in and day out when you were in treatment in the program?
Well, to be honest, I was just so relieved that there was a program like this, that it was difficult. But like we talked about before, I was so desperate to find something. I just couldn't imagine him off to college, my son going off to college, having to deal with these allergies. And I was the typical helicopter mom. I wouldn't leave him at friend's house alone. I would sit there during play dates. We never went on an airplane. There were just so many restrictions. And so for me, it was very exciting to be in the program. It wasn't a problem at all. Was it difficult at times? Absolutely. There were times where he just had enough of certain foods, like pears, where he would just start gagging and he couldn't keep them down. So we just had to get really creative with trying to kind of hide those, the certain foods.
And you did the pancake too, because I talked to you about this.
Yes, we used to spend that. Lasted for quite a while. We would make up recipes try to fit in as many of his allergens or as many of his foods that he had to ingest on a regular basis. And so the pancakes, we would spend about 4 hours on a Sunday, and we would measure every bit out of each of the tree nuts and seeds and that he, had to take on a daily basis. And we would cook about 2 weeks worth.
Oh my gosh.
Put them in the freezer, and then each morning we'd take one out, and that would be his dosing for the day.
Oh my gosh. And he was in a private school all through this too. And then once he hit remission, when he graduated, you put him into public school.
Yes. So I was so fearful. I didn't feel comfortable him just being at a nut-free table. I had such a fear of him, just being anywhere around without me being present, anywhere around anybody that had, any type of peanuts or anything. So I put him in a very, very small private school up through 3rd grade, and they were nut-free. The parents, I volunteered there, and the parents and I became very, very close, and they were super supportive. Nobody would bring anything into the school without checking with me first to make sure it was
Nice.
okay. So Yes.
Nice. And he graduated and he went to public school. And in
Yes.
public school, and now he's in high school, does he have a 504 plan?
Never had a 504 plan.
Wow.
Right, right. Yeah, we didn't really feel like we needed it with the private school. It wasn't necessary. At his preschool, I was the food mom. I bought all the food for snacks to the school just to make sure that no allergens for any of the kids that had any kind of allergies were brought into the school.
Mm-hmm.
So we really didn't feel like we needed a 504 up until that point.
Right. Tell me about life today in Remission.
Oh,
Tell me about the last 5 years and what life is like now.
it makes me very emotional because it's just life-changing. I never thought, when I pictured my life before the program, I just pictured this constant day-to-day fear of, what's he doing? Where, who's he with? And it's life-changing. We had never been on an airplane. We ended up just his first airplane ride we took to Maui 2 years ago.
Nice.
And it's life-changing. It really is. And I feel forever indebted to the program. There's just, in my opinion, nothing like it in the world. And we just feel so blessed to have found this and been a part of it, and the amazing team.
And you've had no problems in Remission.
Never had a problem.
What's his schedule like now in Remission for 5 years? How often does he have to eat his food?
So we try to have him take in some kind of peanut product on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
But really what they would like is 60 peanuts and a lot of tree nuts and seeds once every 3 weeks. But we do every day.
It's part of his plan. It's just part of his life.
It's part of his life. We just want to keep it going through his system. And
that seems to be something that I consistently hear from people in the program, that success comes when the allergens are just integrated into the daily life of Remission.
Absolutely.
That you're not even thinking about it. Like our other guest, Benji, is eating ramen with an egg in it. The egg is just in it. You're eating peanut products every day. So I assume it's peanut butter on toast is what you're doing?
He does peanut butter and jelly on toast. Sometimes sometimes he just eats plain peanuts or something like a little coating on the peanut, something a little sweet. But for the most part, it's peanut butter. I grind for 60 peanuts. I grind it up and I mix it with jelly and we put it on toast, or he just eats it plain.
And he doesn't fight you?
No. I think he realizes how this has changed his life, all of our lives, our whole family. We don't have that just constant, nonstop fear that we had before entering the program.
I feel it with my son, Sam. In talking to you, I really was able to go back there because it's been 7 years for us.
Oh,
so
amazing.
I was really able to go back there in talking to you and thinking about that constant fear, that nonstop fear of today, but also down the line, tomorrow, college. What was that going to look like? What is high school going to look like? And also just like, what about bullying? What about restrictions? And I just kept thinking about it and how that I worry about other things now.
Yeah. Of course.
But I don't worry about food allergies. So I understand that relief. What point in the program or in this process did you feel like you could breathe and not worry as much?
It took me quite a while. I would say probably 2 years after he went into remission. I kind of remember a point where we were at a new friend's house and I was still, at the play date with him, and he wanted to go off on his own with his friend across the street into the fields. And I had that sick feeling like I can't let him go by himself. And he kind of gave me that look like, Mom, you can do this. And I let him go and everything was fine. And when we were driving home, he said to me, Mom, he says, I am so proud of you. He says, I know that was so hard for you. And he says, I appreciate you letting me have some independence. He says, I know that was very difficult for you. And at that point, I said, wow, I mean, I really can trust the process now. And so I think that's kind of where things started turning around for me.
And look at you now.
Look at me now.
Thank you so much for coming on,
Oh,
Sherry.
my pleasure.
Thank you.
For having us.
So good
again.
to see you again.
You too. I know.
Thank you. Our next guest is Devin Sclafani, Sherry's son. Devin is in remission for 5 years, and he is here to tell us all about his life in deep remission. Welcome to the show, Devin.
Thank you so much for having me on.
I am so happy you're here and to finally meet you in person after knowing your mom for all these years. Tell us about yourself, Devin.
So I am 15 years old. I'm a freshman in high school, and I really like to do robotics, technology. I like videography and photography, all that type of stuff.
Cool. Smart to be into robotics. That's where the future is. I like that. So you are in remission for 5 years.
Yes.
You remember being in the program.
I do.
Yeah. And was it hard? Was there nuts or foods that you did not like to eat?
It was definitely difficult at times. There were a lot of different nuts that I didn't like to eat, like peanuts. During those food challenges, I just could not stand the peanuts. The food challenges were always kind of a struggle for me. And there were a lot of other nuts that I had trouble intaking just because I didn't really like them.
But you like peanuts now.
I do. I have now trained my taste buds, and I now actually do like a lot of peanut products, and I eat a lot of the other nuts that I used to not like. I do like them a lot now and I eat them on a daily basis.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I hear this from other people in the program, moms, that their kids' taste buds change as they continue on in remission. I can say that for my son, Sam. He's definitely, as he's gotten older, I would say around 11, in 5th grade, his taste buds started to change and he started to like peanut products more and exploring new foods and things like that. So I think you are going to give a lot of moms out there hope that
I hope to.
I hope, yeah, that it's going to be better and your taste buds will change. So tell me about some of your favorite peanut products.
So I do like Reese's peanut butter cups, a lot of different peanut candies like Snickers, and also just like there's a lot of, I couldn't name them, but there's a lot of products or peanuts and everyday foods that I really like now too.
And it's just part of what you eat.
Yeah, it's just part of just daily life now.
And do you think back, because you're old enough to remember being in the program and a little bit of what life was like before you entered the program, what is it like now when you're out in the world and there's just candy like on Halloween, or you go to school and you're not eating at an allergy table and you don't have a 504 plan? What is that like now when you see a Reese's or you see something with peanuts, or you're just out in the world and you see that? Are you retraining your mind that it's safe now?
Yeah, I definitely do have to retrain my mind because it was the enemy for so many years that I had to avoid peanuts. I had to avoid all these products all these years. I was always so scared of it because of how deadly it was. But now, I look at these products and I just think of how far I've come in the program, how I've been through all of it, and now I can have that safely. And I've retrained my mind to kind of get used to that, and I don't have that major fear anymore. It's kind of like just a huge relief.
Huge.
Off of that. Yeah.
Huge. Talk to me about life in remission and what it's like.
Yeah, life in remission is amazing. Just from having to not have to look at the labels on the back of food items in the store. We used to always do that. On every single label, we go through each ingredient and just go through all and making sure on every single product. But now, I can just pick up something off the shelf at a local market and I can just have it without having. I definitely do still think about the program. I still think about how far I've come through it. But now I just have that giant relief that I can just eat what I want. I don't have to be scared, just everyday products that I can just have now.
What is your message for people out there in the program who are having a hard time with the day-to-day of the program? The kid doesn't want to eat the food. They have treatment fatigue. What would you say to those kids?
Yeah, I would just say that it's just such a small part of life. It might just be just a few months of just a little bit of struggle. It's not even that bad of a struggle, but it's just just a couple years of this. And then for the rest of your life, you don't have to worry about all these fears, all these allergies coming back to you. You're just good for life.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes. So stick through it. The light at the end of the tunnel is bright.
It's very bright. I would recommend just keep going through it because it is completely worth it in the end.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, You told me in advance that you liked all kinds of candy, so I bought with me a Reese's. Should we have one together?
We should.
All right, let's do
Thank
it.
you.
Let's do it. Ready? Cheers. First cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Reese's. 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 All right, I'm going to take a bite. It's a little melted from the car. Oh, it's good. It's good. Oh, you pop it all in too. You're just like Benji. Good for you. Good for you. Oh, it's so good. I haven't had a Reese's in a while. It's so good. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me on.
And being with, I know we're chewing and we're trying we're trying to do this. So this Maui shirt, I just want to bring this up, is special because you went to Maui in Remission.
Yes, I did. And I was able, so on plane rides, like when they have all the peanuts, so I wasn't able to go before. Now I didn't have to worry about that. So I was able to go on a plane, my first ever plane ride ever to Maui. And I was able to get this sweatshirt as a reminder of all the journey I've been through and what I've come to now. And also one of the major things in Food Allergy Institute is that they always said to me at the end that it was the flight to food freedom was the special thing about it. So now that was to Maui, that was my flight to food freedom.
Oh, I'm going to cry. That's very cool. It's very special. I'm really happy you decided to wear that shirt today.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, the future is very bright for you, Devin. Thank you for being on the program.
Thank you for having me.
So I have a confession. This morning, when I was thinking about this episode, I thought, I cannot do an episode about deep remission without bringing my son Sam back onto the show. Sam is the entire inspiration for this podcast series. Sam was in the program for about a little over 2 years, and he's been in remission for 7 years. So here he is, last minute guest. Thank you, Sam, for joining us today on the program. How old are you now?
13.
And what grade are you in?
7th.
7th grade, remission for 7 years. How's it been going?
I mean, it feels so good to be in remission.
Yeah. Have you had any issues in the last 7 years?
No, not at all.
Not at all. And what are some of your favorite foods to eat in remission?
Reese's. And like when I eat ice cream, I'll just put some peanuts on top of it. It'll taste really good.
And you go to Dodger games?
Yeah.
And what do?
I eat the peanuts. I just like crack them open.
What is your message to people out there who are in the program and they're just struggling with that grind?
Yeah, I know how it feels because it sucks. Because like you feel like you're in despair and like everything is like plummeting down on you. And like you just want to get in a fight with your parents. But if you don't do it, the allergies are going nowhere. And in the long run, when you're going to be in that middle school like lunch table and your friends are going to be eating like that popular food and you can't eat it, and like that makes you feel extremely left out of the group.
And you don't have that.
No, not at all.
You share snacks with your friends.
My friends don't even know I used to have an allergy.
They don't even know.
No, they have no idea.
You're just like the rest of the kids. But maybe they'll see this podcast and you'll be outed. Well, I think it's a reason to celebrate. So why don't we have some peanut M&Ms? Here you go. Cheers. Yeah. Peanut M&M. Peanut M&M. What color you got?
Green.
I got blue. I love you.
Love you too.
Thank you for joining us today on this very special episode of Resilience and Hope, a Food Allergy Podcast. We would love to hear from you. Please write us resilienceandhopepodcast@gmail.com and follow us on social media at Resilience and Hope Podcast. And please, wherever you listen to your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, give us a 5-star rating. 5 stars will help other people out there searching for food allergy related podcasts find us. So please give us 5 stars. And until next time, I am Lesley-Anne Stone. Resilience and Hope Podcast is made possible thanks to the support of the Food Allergy Institute.